Senate President, Madam Chair, Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Police Director Benjamin Magalong, Director of the PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. I am serving as the Chair of the Board of Inquiry, or BOI, created on orders of DILG Secretary Mar Rojas, issued on January 26 to establish the facts and circumstances surrounding the SAF operation in Mamasapano, Maguindanao, from January 24 to January 26, resulting in the death of 44 SAF troopers. I'm here to present the initial facts and circumstances of what we have established so far based on 374 interviews, 318 sworn statements, SMS and call logs, and special reports submitted by the PNP SAF, local police, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines as of February 8, 2015. From January 26 until today, 46 investigators have spent 5,152 man-hours collecting the data which served as the basis of my presentation. The information contained in my briefing is our understanding of what happened and does not contain any prejudgment, findings, or conclusions. The targets of SAF's operation were most wanted terrorist Zulkifli Binhir, known as Marwan, and Basit Usman, a BIFF commander. Zulkifli was the primary target. He was a US-trained engineer and was head of the Kumpulon Mujahideen Malaysia and a member of the Jemaah Islamiyah's Central Command. He was wanted for multiple murders and frustrated murders related to his bombing activities. He was an expert bomb maker, a trainer, and personally detonated explosives by remote control using cellular phones. Marwan conducted training sessions in various places around Mindanao. The slide shows the places where these sessions were held. He was also involved in multiple bombing incidents in Mindanao. The locations of these incidents can be seen in the slide. Marwan was the most notorious for the 2002 Bali bombing in Indonesia, which killed 202 and injured 209 people. Marwan's bombs and previous encounters with law enforcement officers resulted in the death of 46 innocent civilians and injury to 207 others in the Philippines alone. These do not include the deaths, injuries, and destruction of bombing perpetrated by students and followers. Abdul Basit Usman is a key commander in the BIFF. He is a bomb make expert who trains terrorists in assembling and planting bombs. He has multiple warrants for deaths and injuries caused by his bombing-related activities. He operates in central and southern Mindanao. Basit Usman's bombs killed a total of 17 innocent civilians and injured 62 people from 2002 to 2008. The worst incident was in General Santos City on April 21, 2002, which killed 15 people and wounded 15 more, or 55 more. Reflected in the slide were special projects against Marwan and their status. A total of 10 operations were launched. Only the last succeeded in neutralizing these international terrorists. Clearly, with their renowned notoriety and record of terror activities, clearly, Marwan and Usman are high-value and priority targets whose arrest or capture was rightfully and legitimately pursued by the state. The plan spelled out. The plan spelled out the employment of 392 SAF troopers. The plan spelled out for the employment of 392 SAF troopers assigned to 12 different operating groups for the mission. Their tasks are shown in the slide. One group was assigned as the main effort, 4 as support effort, 2 groups as blocking forces, and 2 groups for route security. An advanced command post and a tactical command post were established for command and control. The area of operations was located in Mamasapano, Maguindanao. It is basically a marshland crisscrossed by rivers with wide open cornfields and irrigation canals. This is a bird's eye view of the area shown to illustrate the unfavorable terrain that SAF operatives have to contend with. Non-government forces have significant presence in the area. The map shows the general location and estimated strengths of various armed groups present in the area of operations. Notably, the 105th Base Command was formerly led by Umbra Cato, who is now head of the BIFF. This slide shows the location of government forces in the area. The PNP's presence is limited to 5 municipal police stations located in Datu Saudi, Raja Buayan, Sharif Saidona, Sharif Agwak, and Mamasapano. The Maguindanao Police Provincial Office is also located in the area. The Army's units are dispersed in company and battalion-sized formations surrounding the area of operations. This is the area map. Reflected are waypoints used in the operational plan. The waypoints are set between the vehicular drop-off point, or VDOP, and the target. The 84th Special Action Company, or well known as Seabourn, was designated as the main effort of the operation. It was tasked to enter Marwan's encampment and arrest Marwan and Usman. The plan called for the deployment of the 55th, 45th, 42nd, and 41st Special Action Companies as containment forces along the entry and exit route of the Seabourn. The ACP is located at the VDOP along the Maharlika Highway, designated as the main supply route, or MSR. It was guarded by the 43rd Special Action Company, or 43rd SAC, which was equipped with 2 B-150 armored vehicles deployed hundreds of meters east and west of the ACP. 43rd SAC served as a containment force and route security for the MSR. The exit plan called for the support containment forces to withdraw, provide cover and security for the Seabourn troops as they withdraw along the planned route. As can be seen from the comparison maps, there is a gap between the plan and the actual. Except for the Seabourn unit, the other units did not reach their designated positions. The movement of the Seabourn took about 2 hours longer than planned. They were delayed by the difficult terrain and the strong river current near the target. The departure of the support groups, accordingly, were delayed because the plan called for synchronization of their movement with that of the Seabourn. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the Seabourn was still able to reach its objective and neutralize Marwan. The bar graph is a schematic diagram reflecting the movement of the various operating SAF groups toward their designated waypoints. The green bar shows the planned positions, while the blue bar shows the actual positions of the operating groups. The numbers on the left side of the graph shows the waypoints. Seabourn made its exit from the target area under fire, but still followed the planned route until waypoint 14. Seabourn troops were determined to reinforce 55th SAC, but because of the tremendous firepower and strength of the opposition, the TCP, or the Tactical Command Post, and 55th SAC advised them not to proceed with the link-up and instead move east. By this time, both Seabourn and 55th SAC were under heavy rifle and mortar fire. While moving, the Seabourn teams engaged various armed groups from all directions. For hours until late in the afternoon at around 1800, they fought their way out, dragging their killed and wounded comrades. The Seabourn went to link up with elements of 42nd SAC and the Division Reconnaissance Company of the Philippine Army at 23:30 of January 25. Meanwhile, 55th SAC engaged non-government forces from around 0520 to around 1300. 35 of its 36 members were killed in action. The actual time when the firefight ended is only an estimate based on the last radio communication from the unit to the advance command post. Meanwhile, ACP and other units on the MSR or along the MSR have been under fire since 0830. In fact, 3 tanks of the Mechanized Brigade of the Army sent to reinforce SAP were immobilized by persistent sniper fires from east of their location. The highlight of the entire operation started with a call to TCP at 0415 confirming the death of Marwan. At 0506, the SAF director sent a message to the commander of the 6th Infantry Division to inform him of the ongoing operation. SAF director then sent his deputy to the 1st Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of the Philippines to ask for help and artillery support. At 0638, the Coordinating Committee on the Cessation of Hostilities, or CCCH, was informed of the ongoing encounter. SAF requested for artillery support in several locations between 0725 to 1735. Seabourn reached its objective at 0415 of the 38 members. Of the 38 members of Seabourn, only 13 were able to cross the river and engage Marwan in a firefight. Other BIFF forces or fighters were alerted of their presence when booby traps placed around Marwan's house exploded. 2 troopers were wounded in the initial engagement. They endured several firefights along the way. Their pursuers stopped firing only after the delivery of 3 white phosphorus artillery rounds at around 1748. By the time they were rescued before midnight, 9 members of the Seabourn were killed in action, while 14 were wounded. 7 police commission officers and 37 police non-commissioned officers were killed for a total of 44 SAF troopers killed in action. In honor of the 44 heroes and the 15 wounded, the Board of Inquiry is committed to complete its task of finding out what happened. We will give justice to our SAF heroes by seeking the truth. Magandang araw po sa inyo. Maraming salamat po.